Finally, we're getting some brand new Once Human updates. We'll go over the new Season 2 preview, which does include the new Lunar Oracle wheel. Alongside everything else, we had several new shop updates. We'll go over some last minute mentionals from the community, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World's Utopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so first off here, let's go over everything new that's happening with the Divisional Wheel Season 2 so far. Now, they are calling this one a bit different here. It is Lunar Revelry. So instead of it being Lunar Oracle, they did rename that one. Now, they do actually have the start time for this, which is happening on September 24th. The end date for this one, however, is to be confirmed. So more than likely, we're going to see it for a month or two plus, just like the last one. So I would imagine around the same timeline. And the overview of what's going to happen is, of course, the Crimson Blood Moon does return to Nalcott, or of course that does empower deviants and inflict metas with lunacy. Now, there is a new boss here called the Lord of the Moonlight. However, yes, this was just like the Lunar Spawn. That one did mirror your appearance as well. This one, however, can morph and use adrenaline shots near its elimination. So pretty cool there. Again, somewhat the same as the Lunar Spawn. Now, they do go over what scenarios will be affected by this. So Manibus, in specific, the non-novice servers. So those beginner servers are not going to have this. Of course, Baseline Evolution's Call, Prism's Clash, The Way of Winter, and Endless Dream. They do mention here that the Lord is immune to dream zones. Of course, players can only sit in there for so long, since it mimics the player. However, it will be immune to the actual dream zone though, meaning that the boss isn't just going to despawn, it will be there for when you want to fight it. Now, they have done a few things here to actually modify this scenario this time around with the schedule and the survivability. So first off here, it's going to be daily from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. That does equal 30 minutes real time, so that is essentially double the Season 0's length. So you do have a bit more time to farm and grind. Actually really like that one, so it will be 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on. Whereas before, 15 minutes on, 45 minutes off did feel a bit scuffed, at least way too much downtime in my opinion. For the survivability side of things, of course, deviants do go stronger. That did happen before. Your sanity drains outside your territory. That one's called lunacy. Yeah, that happened before as well. However, this time around, you can actually defeat enemies to recover it. So pretty cool there. It does seem like you'll be rewarded for your DPS or the amount of enemies that you are eliminating. So a bit of a push there to kind of speedrun enemies. Now, of course, we did go over the Lord of the Moonlight, but there are some additional rules here for that, where under the moon's gaze, it will essentially copy you, summon adds, and even morph, with a potential of better rewards. A cool thing here, if the Lord does manage to eliminate another meta, it'll level up and even steal their Lunar Whispers. If you do take down the Lord, you can claim all of the Lunar Whispers it has accumulated, so essentially almost akin to like a jackpot there. So pretty cool and some decent new mechanics with it. Of course, it wouldn't be a new seasonal wheel without some events and rewards. They are now doing an Omen of Affliction, which is sector versus sector. Nalcott will be split into two different time zone sectors, where you can team up and defeat the Lord and even summon lunar essences for sector points. And there's going to be 7 weekly rounds of 1v1 sector trials. When submitting essence, you can then vote to inflict the lunar omens. There'll be 6 different types there. In the opposing sector, top 3 omens by vote apply and scale with the total essence. And then whoever does win that round will get 1 victory point, and you can stack points for the ultimate glory. They do have a bit of a preview here that kind of shows off essentially what's going on there, but the image is a preview and the final effect is subject to change in-game. They do also show off the redeem shop for the medley event, where you can collect awesome rewards, unlock new weapons, and even collectibles. Lunar Whispers, of course, can be obtained through combat, stronghold explorations, and even gathering during Blood Moon phase. You can redeem these rewards, so these are tied to the other event. So Omen of Affliction will have its own sort of set there, which is being essentially called Trial of Misfortune, depending on what they actually do label it in-game. But this one, which is the Lunatic Medley, will be a bit different there. Of course, you should be familiar with this if you did play Season 1 of Lunar Oracle, as we have this exact same reward setup. A pretty cool mention with that, though, is you can use your Whispers to redeem past Divisional Wheel rewards. So if you didn't want these new ones, you can actually get the old one as well. With this event, and actually the new season, we do have some brand new weapons. We have the SKS Pathfinder, which is a chance to trigger Frost Vortex on hit, a chance to generate those deviant particles, and charge shots will actually fire an ice spike. They do have some preview images here, however, we didn't get anything as far as the effects yet. That also includes a brand new P90. They're calling this one the Holographic Resonance, with the chance to trigger the bullseye on hit, which will deal AoE damage after a hit threshold. So pretty cool there. P90 usually is one of my favorite weapons in any game pretty much, although I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. Of course, we have some visuals here, but nothing as far as how the weapon actually does work. With this one, we got some brand new mods. a new suffix crescent, exclusive to gloves and helmets. They've also gone ahead and rebalanced the rejuvenating and against all odds mods. A cool thing here is you actually can get the old lunar mods, so you can either choose between the new crescent or the old lunar mods, which will be via a selection crate. They also do mention there is going to be some cradle effect adjustments, but this one hasn't been determined just yet. That'll be revealed in a later blog. I will go over some of the key dates there when we're going to be seeing that one. Of course, with this new Oracle event, there's some new crates and deviations. You can earn special items, recipes, formulas, mod selection crates, lunar animals, and even morph deviations. That includes so far the Lone Wolf Swiftspur, Festering Gel, Snow Sprite by the Wind, Xeno Purifier, and Pyro Dino. However, some new additional ones that are not just returning, we have the Electric Eel, Automatic Snail, and the Zapcam. Those will now be the new modified or morphed deviations. Speaking of old things returning, they are carrying over some stuff from Season 0. The Sanity Drain is the exact same 20% out of your territory. Lunar Whispers do expire in 24 hours. A few other mentions like deviations do go berserk where they get more aggro and their damage is up. And there's also still the Lunacy Stimulant and Lunacy Suppressant. Now they do mention with this update, servers with the Visional Wheel tag will auto-switch to a Lunar Revelry. That will be after the update. This does mean that the Starfall inversion will fully stop. Special drops from that will end and will be unavailable for new early access scenarios. Now there is some key dates with this here. As I said, I would go over when we're going to be getting some different things. There are actually some additional ones than these here. But of course, we had the new Visional Wheel announced on September 14th. September 24th, the update will go live with these servers switching to Season 2. We had a new patch and bug fix that rolled out 2.1.3 that went live September 16th/17th. The 25th is a Net Cafe exclusive program. Now there is one more date here for the Visional Wheel Season 2. This is actually a preview live stream that will start September 18th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So they are going to be showing a first look and exclusive rewards will be tied to this stream. Again, I will include a link to it. They already do have it up. Again, September 18th. That should be 9 p.m. Central Time as well and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So right now for me, upon actually filming the audio for this video, around 29 hours until we see that lunar preview. So if you do want to check out that event, I will include a link to it down below, both for the YouTube link and then I'll include their Twitch page as well. Speaking of the preview though, we did get a little bit of it. This wasn't much to go off of, but just a bit of a teaser. And again, as they do mention here, the Lunar Revelry will be here at September 24th. So pretty cool there overall. Quickly, I'll go over what patch 2.1.3 fixed. There was some building, ghosting, territory relocations, buffalo animals that were causing issues, the Visional Wheel phase issue also on custom servers, territory distance, nomadic specialization, Beastmaster pet recalls, server merges, and Raid Zone also temporarily disabled the blackout monochrome and enemy outline to prevent crashes. Once they do have a fix in order, they will put that back up. As I did mention, we did have a shop update for September 16th, so that one has already dropped the Rising Nova and a few other sets here that you can check out. Those of course are on a limited time discount too as well. However, we actually had a Lightforge Loot Crate teaser. Now on Twitter, again, they showed the blackout image here where they kind of didn't showcase what those cosmetics would be. However, they already did reveal those on multiple different websites. So we do have some teaser imagery here for both the female and male versions of this outfit. But we also did actually get a full showcase of the female version. So you can check that one out here if you're interested in the new Lightforge Loot Crates. Overall, that's what I'll cover for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuce.